How's it going, fellow Detroit Red Wings fans? So, we all know the Detroit Red Wings have been good to start the season. So good, in fact, that you could argue the Red Wings could be on a path to make the playoffs for the first time in over half a decade. But before we get into the video, I want to give a shout out to Troy Helgamo. We hit the 1,000 subscriber mark about 2 months ago, and we want to start thanking you guys for making the Red Wing Nation community a community. So, if you want to get a shout out, make sure you subscribe and join this wonderful channel. So, just remember, this is as of the time of recording, November 10th. And the Detroit Red Wings play the Washington Capitals tomorrow, November 11th. And they currently have a 7-5-2 record so far this season through 14 games played. And yes, while thinking of the Red Wings making the playoffs this season, this far out, it's a little bit more of hopeful thinking. Looking at the Detroit Red Wings lineup, unless we face another major injury to Larkin, Bertuzzi, Raymond, Seider, or one of our goalie tandem, you have a lineup that for the most part can win games against the top dogs in the league. And they showed what that lineup could look like in these last couple games, where they faced off against the Buffalo Sabres on Saturday, the Vegas Golden Knights on Sunday, and yesterday where they played a star-studded Edmonton Oilers team and gave them their second loss of the season. Those wins also gave the Red Wings their first 3-game winning streak in 2 years. Now, I was lucky enough to be able to go to the Detroit Red Wings versus Vegas Golden Knights game, and I will for sure show the amazing photos and videos I was able to take, but I wanted to talk about how good this team is. This is not the same team as the last couple seasons. Obviously, this power play is the real deal. The Knights had an early lead on the Wings, and unfortunately for the Knights, they took 2 penalties, and the Red Wings made them pay. One beautiful passing play that ended with a goal by Raymond, and the other the same thing, a good passing play using the open lanes, and Robbie Fabry shoots a bullet past the Knights goaltender. There was also the 2 other goals scored by Suter and Nemestikov that were beauties as well, but nonetheless, the power play the Wings had out there was one that other teams should and will fear once they can show it more consistently and learn to gel better. Not even to mention the youngsters, Raymond was unreal and was making plays like some of the best in the league, and Mo Seider was insane. His abilities quarterbacking the power play looked like a 28 to 32-year-old defenseman in the playoffs. He moved the play to his liking, and he didn't take crap from anyone. And sure, he didn't record a point in that game, but Seider did score the OT winner against the Buffalo Sabres and scored the empty netter against the Edmonton Oilers. Last but certainly not least, Thomas Greiss was absolutely lights out against the Knights. The Knights had 2 goals on him, but they were far from his fault and definitely got a couple of those back with some nice saves. Once again, yeah, it could just be a hot streak. I mean, Bertuzzi is not usually a point-per-game player. Larkin hasn't consistently been near a point per game either. Neither do we usually have 2 rookies that are easily the best counter candidates so far this season and going a point per game or slightly below point per game as a defenseman. Nor do we usually have an offense that sits at 4th in the league in goals for, or a goalie tandem that is both over a .900 save percentage, even after one having a rough few games to start the season. So yes, 1 or 2 of these could fall off and all of a sudden the picture/team looks a lot worse. But one thing that should make this wonderful and a lot more optimistic is that we are still missing a top forward that I think most people had pegged as the top offensive winger on the team. Yeah, Jakub Vrana, who was supposed to be an easy top scorer on an offensively depleted Wings team. Possibly be the first Red Wing to score 30 or 40 goals in the season in a while. Now, whether he was going to do that this season or not, we won't know because he will likely be missing at least another 4 months. But this top of the league offense is missing one of the top contributors and is looking fine doing it. Imagine when Vrana does come back, most likely going on the second line with Pia Suter and Robbie Fabry or Filip Zadina, not even to mention Joel Veleno and Jonathan Berggren sitting in Grand Rapids. But what if we lose someone in our defensive lineup? Or worse, we lose Hronek or Seider out for injury. We have McIsaac, Runoff, a number of other defensemen waiting for an opportunity. Not to mention Johansson, who is playing overseas, and Edvinsson, who have for the most part dominated over in the SHL. It appears the Yzerplan has taken effect, and boy does it have a hold on Hockey Town. All I'm saying is the Red Wings making the playoffs isn't so crazy of a thought anymore. I know people have been talking about it, and the more this season goes on, the more and more it appears that it could possibly happen. Especially if Zadina or Rasmussen can finally break out that goal-scoring ability. What do you think? Do the Red Wings make the playoffs this year? Is it too early to tell? Am I just speaking to the choir? Let us know down below. Red Wing Nation was designed to be a community of Red Wings fans that could come together and talk about all things Red Wings. If you like this video, make sure you drop a like. That way we make more content that you like. And lastly, if you are a Red Wings fan, if you are a hockey fan, if you're just a great person, make sure you subscribe and join this wonderful community. And until next time, lights out in the red light district.